This is a subject that I found extremely important to success, and most people don't think about it. And the guy who brought it up was a guy named Eric Hoffer. He was a longshoreman. He was worked for a living uh, at basically bringing in ships and working unloading and loading ships. But he also was a philosopher, and one of the things he wrote, he says, in times of change, learners inherit the earth, while the learned find themselves beautifully equipped to deal with a world that no longer exists. So what he's basically talking about is learner versus knower. And if we're living now, which I believe we are, on a thing called liquid turf, everything's changing. If you're a knower, you're always going to be behind the ball. You can't get there. Knowers. Now, what is a knower? Somebody who talks and thinks they have all the answers is a knower. Now, what's a learner? The learner listens and pays attention to the changes that are happening in liquid turf and is able to adjust and adapt and move. They are interested in what's happening. They are not interesting. And if you watch on most YouTubes, or if you watch most people, or most people presenting, they're trying to be interesting. But if you look in your life, think about it in your life, a person who was positive in your life, was it because they were an interesting person primarily, or was it because they were interested in you? Most people say interested in you. And so Eric Hoffer talks about knower and basically learner. And so when you start to see the world, you can switch back and forth between a knower and a learner, knower and a learner, knower and a learner. But where is it you're learning? You're learning when you're asking questions and you're interested in paying attention to what's going on. And using what's going on, it's much easier, as Abe Lincoln said, to ride a horse in the direction it's going. And so you're not going to find out what the direction of liquid turf is going by talking and being a knower. And it's very interesting to watch as you deal with people. If it's all about knowing, that they're not learning. And they are perfectly equipped for a world that no longer exists. He's right. Hopper's right. You've got to be in the learning space. And the longer you can stay in learning. Now, that doesn't mean you're always going to be there, because I see myself flip back and forth a lot. Being a quote, quote teacher, then I'm supposed to know stuff. But really, the space for me to learn is being inquiry, being awake and excited and, and curious of what's going on, not what I know. If I'm speaking, it's not learning. It's best for me to sit and lead and listen and read and study. Then I can share what I've learned and interpret it through the books I've read, which is a lot. And that's sort of what makes me far more unique than most people, is that I'm able to read and adjust and figure it out. So when you look at knower or learner, it's very easy. You can tell, is the person in a learning space right now, or are they in a knowing space? And if they're in a knowing space, that's not where you want to spend the time with those. You want to be in learning, learning. So is it a knower or a learner? And you could just ask that question. When you're with somebody, are they a knower? And they're not open to any new ideas? And you have to look at, if they're not, they are stuck. And as they say, no two flies ever land on a piece of fly paper the same way. One will twist this way and one will twist that way, but try as they might, stuck is stuck. So don't get stuck in the space of knowing. Stay a learner. Then you're going to be able to adapt to liquid turf and make appropriate choices from that space. I learned from Bucky a long time ago that the bigger the picture, the more accurate your prediction. There's nothing in a caterpillar, if you just study a caterpillar, will ever tell you about scenario butterfly. So my entire life, I'm working as much as I can to be a comprehensivist. That is interested in everything, so I can make better choices, better decisions, and have a better perspective. What can I do for you?